No doubt about it. The plane is up in the air. We are underway with the last game of the day. And all right, a couple things here, guys. Just a reminder, PGI.S presented by Intel, where the gaming happens. And if you are just tuning in, you missed some of the games earlier, be not afraid. The VODs are available either on YouTube or Twitch. And if you're looking for it on YouTube, just PUBG Esports, go ahead and subscribe to that channel. You can catch all the games, all the VODs will be there. Also, the map stream, PUBG Esports map on Twitch. Make sure you're watching it. Very important, very helpful for these games. And I'm going to put you on the spot here, Toby. Pick a team. Who's winning?
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna blindfold this one and say 4 a.m. I looked over towards the map stream. That was the first team my eyes caught because they were pretty much in the center of the map. I'm going 4 a.m. with this one.
Okay.
What about you? You gotta pick one.
TSG.
You know that is not a bad pick. We're going full China. I like it. Full China for the final game. We'll see whether that's going to be the case or not. Just about 28 to 30 minutes from now, depending, of course, on how the last games unfold. And we talked earlier about. I mean, it's only a 5-game day today, but it feels like a 9-game day today. These games are all so long. It all comes down to the final circle. I mean, we've seen games the last two. How wide has the circles been? 10 meters, maybe. And oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Let's make it rude once more. Face, well, you're in the vicinity. Furia, once again, we talked about this earlier today as well. Furia, you get to pick and choose exactly what you want. And for everyone else, happy travels. There's a bit of distance down to that one.
No doubt about it. For Buriram, they were bullied out of Al Azhar earlier, so they go a little bit further west. Division X just to their north. Damwon Kia underneath them as they join the lobby and try to do the impossible to get the 1-game win, to come in cold and try to find the heat. Noadra gonna get in his buggy and move along. Now, this is gonna be, I mean, this is like, all the games are tense, but this last one, the most tense of them all. And I can't even imagine, but that's part of what makes things like this great, like the emotion that you're seeing from the players and the teams. I mean, that's what competition is all about. There's going to be winners, there's going to be losers. That's part of what makes these things so exciting.
That's what we talked about, right? You can have an entire season of performance in any sport and win every game in the regular season and have like break records in that regard, but if you don't finish that up with winning the finals, then that winning season is kind of going to be forgotten, right? That's the same thing here. You can play as well as you want to, but if you can't grab that win, well, it doesn't matter. So many second places for some teams, so many third places, so many just overall top 5 finishes, but in the end, the win is all that matters. And while a lot of teams have been close, only 15 have made it through, and these remaining 16 now they're gonna fight it out. There's no doubt about it. It's gonna be an all brawl type finish here.
Absolutely. This one's going to be quite fascinating, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see this be relatively passive. You know, the last one we saw a pretty deep south circle, and we didn't see a whole lot of fighting early on. It was very, very much just teams trying to get into the circle, even though a few of them kind of crossing paths early and kind of having the same ideas rotationally. They were still settling up pretty close to each other without fighting unless they absolutely had to in some situations. So I think my gut kind of tells me that maybe this will be the same. You never know. Sometimes teams just kind of get wild and want a frag.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it is, I mean, again, the format taken into perspective, there is always, I mean, maybe not, okay, so they're 99% of the time, completely correct statistic, by the way, you have risk involved with trying to shoot at someone else. There's always going to be the what if there's a guy over there, what if there's a guy over here, what if something goes wrong? I think that's why so maybe not in the very early game, but like phase 2, phase 3, where teams would normally opt to pull up and take these fights with one another. That's where we see, let's just drive past the others instead of stopping and taking the fight, because we need to keep those 4 guys alive come late game, now more than ever. I mean, we've seen it multiple times now where a team, just because they lose one, could be for whatever reason in the mid to early game, they just don't have the firepower, they don't have what is needed to go out and win those late game fights. So this game being all about the victory, you want to set yourself up as best as you can, and I think taking those early engagements very often, almost always, just won't pay off.
Absolutely, and I think we've seen it here today, Toby, that having 4 up in the end, crucial. to getting these victories. So getting your team alive all the way, all of them alive, all the way through has shown to be really important. And I mean, we've been gifted with some wonderful finishes today. The last two in particular with two very interesting, very well fought 4v4s. Just goes to show you how good these teams are, how patient, how disciplined they all are, how everything that they've worked so hard for throughout their entire careers is all culminating in this event. Now, of course, we still have plenty of action here in this event. Still, even after this week, 2 more weeks to go. And what a wonderful thing this is. What a absolutely just beautiful event we have. And I mean, it's just been so fun start, and it's gonna finish great, I imagine.
And I think regardless of whether teams do end up qualifying, I mean, there will only be one of these teams, obviously, to make it through, but regardless of whether you win or not, there's going to be a lot you can take away. I mean, it sounds weird, but having like this mental stress, while you don't, of course, enjoy it while it's happening, it's a good learning lesson for tournaments to come. This, I would assume, for pretty much all these players, will not be the last big PUBG tournament that they play. So getting used to the amount of mental pressure they're under in this game in particular, having to win this one very last game. Everyone can win it. There's no, oh, you're in 16th place coming into this, so you can't do it. Everyone can go out and make finals after this. Having been under this pressure, I think it's going to make future tournaments for all these guys in this competition more mentally manageable.
Yeah, it's just been incredible to see, even throughout this event, how these teams have been able, some of them have been able to level up, really kind of adjust their strategies, their ideas, adapt to not just the tournament format, but also the teams around them, the level of play. All these different things come into effect. Now, E36 joined us in the previous game, so only one more to make an attempt to do this. Detonation Gaming White is above them, face. It's going to be shooting, and Gokuri there. Gonna get away. I think he might have taken a bit of damage indeed, but the tires are still fresh on the buggy at least, so he's got that going for him.
You know you have a mini when you do 12 damage to someone with the DMR. That's I think it said 12. Might have said 18, but it looked like 12. I'm like, well, that's a BB gun. Unfortunate. Couldn't get the knock. Not that it would have made much of a difference, but at least for FaceClan, they do get to scare opponents off. TSG, well, that's the team you wanted to win. They're fighting early, and who other than the team that just joined us now? Burim, nice read on that one. Shandia expecting the nades to come flying his way, backs off, goes down on the side of the hill where he knows his team can do something to maybe suppress fire up in the direction. And for Edie and for Burim, I mean, we're still a solid kilometer outside the circle. Again, a fight you don't really have to take, and maybe try and back off now, see if you can get back down the hill and get into the circle to come for him. In the meantime, pulling up towards CSM.
Yeah, but it's Buriram. I don't know that they know how to turn it off. I don't know that they can back off of that fight once they feel like it. Although I look at the map and maybe they will. TSM jostling for control over the church by Chumasera, and it's going to be Vard throwing down some fire forever. No problems. He's on the stairs, so he's not going to take any damage from that. Lou and Crazy trying to get around the backside of this. Wookie holding by the altar. And then it's going to be Shaolu readjusting his direction, and 4AM trying to like counter move around the outside of this. And this one, both these teams are pretty dug in here, Toby. I imagine this is just going to kind of have to happen one way or another.
And that's the issue with this position, right? You can't really, like, once you commit, you can't really back out. There's no, I mean, okay, so fair enough. There actually is to some extent for TSM. They could try and back out towards the west side, but then once they start driving, 4AM can just sprint on through and start shooting him in the back, and they don't want to have that happen either, of course. Now, Furrier as well, it's not going to make things any easier. They're charming in too. So 4AM and TSM, as you're saying, kind of stuck and forced to take this fight.
And this is the team you picked, 4AM, and they're scary up close and personal. So is TSM, no doubt about it. As we saw with Iroh alone, is a force to be reckoned with. But well, maybe 4AM kind of a fighting retreat here. Maybe they kind of realize discretion, the better part of valor. They're trying to maybe rethink this. Turtle, living up to his name, crouched behind a building here, just waiting for K7 to go around. He's making his move around the building, trying to stay out of the sightlines of the K7 members, trying to poke out, get some damage, but Savior there to return fire from the back line.
Yep, Savior, solid angle, tries to hold off Senna, did fall down. There is one more round, only 48 damage on Turtle, finds one more. Only faced one, so not the biggest scare in terms of blue damage right now. There is still Savior on the backside. You don't want to leave yourself exposed to him, so he knows there's one around here. Oh, damage comes in, and finally, Turtle will be dealt with. So, a little bit of a scare, but fortunately all of K7 should be able to get back on their feet. Circle in the meantime has shifted south, and as I say that, Lewis is actually around here now as well, miles out of what will be the next circle, as that one shifted all the way down towards the south.
This is an ego push by LG Divine. There's no other way to describe this. They want to try to finish this off potentially, or they just grab a vehicle. Okay, I was going to say, if they fight this, that is 100% ego. That is just... They want to kind of make K7 pay for taking Turtle down, but they do just grab their vehicle and run. I was gonna be very surprised if LG Divine went and fought that. I was gonna be would have been extremely uncharacteristic of them. So they don't do it.
Yeah.
They got it.
Of all the teams, Divine would not be the one to take a forced fight outside the circle like that. So they get away, and also we saw briefly TSM trying to disengage from the 4 AM situation. I believe that they managed to do so. FaZe, they're now realizing that opponents are coming in close. VP over the hilltop. EU on EU action has never really been much of a saying. It's always kind of been NA on NA, but within this tournament, within this week in particular, they have been running side by side, shoulder to shoulder, forcing fights with one another all week long.
Well, and I think you see this because these regions, there's metas that evolve in the regions over the course of the 2020 year, and therefore a lot of the ideas are kind of similar on how to approach the game and how to approach circles, what spots are good, what spots are really desirable, and those kind of things. And a lot of these teams are seeing the same things in their in their replays, in their practices, and these kind of things. So that it's not super surprising to me in some ways to constantly see the regions kind of butting heads with each other, whether it be NA, EU, Korea, China, these kind of things. I think a lot of it just has to do with that they play against each other a lot, and like I mentioned, the metas kind of get baked in the oven because of that.
Well, we speak of meta, and here they come up the hill from the west down towards Val del Mar. They go. You can't see them on the minimap just yet, but they are actually pretty close to Virtus Pro, just on the western side of what the minimap is showing you. Penta is looking over here as well, so there are enough teams engaged in what could be a fight. I mean, it is one of the few compounds in the very center of what is the current circle. We'll see if it remains that way with the next circle to come in just a minute's time, but you can see Shoot to Kill not really in a hurry to give up their position and engage in this fight.
No, absolutely not. There's no reason for them to. They can hunker down. They can wait this one out. They can watch what's going on, get the information around them. And around there, on the left-hand side of the screen, is another code, the last one of the day. So get that in there into your PUBG game. Get it in there quick.
Yeah, no other way around it.
Gasp?
Get yourself your...
Oh, for the code. You're just I thought there was something else more interesting. No, I'm just kidding. The codes are amazing too. So yes, you are allowed to gasp at those.
Yes, codes. That's I'm doing it on behalf of all the Twitch goblins, all the chat guys that just gonna go take those codes, get those coupons in, get yourself some EP, get yourself some cool skins with it as well, and showcase them in the game when you go in and play yourself. Divine, they have made their way inside the circle. Let's see now, phase 3. It can still include water. It can still include unplayable mountains. Where are we headed? We're headed down towards the south. So next one should keep Kia, STK, FaZe. That whole area should kind of send up around there. We'll see if that's going to be the case or not. It should be, but for now, everyone are going to try and fight their way in from the north, because the whole hillside that we see down towards the south, it's just a big flat, like not flat, big, like open, bald hill, and there's just not a lot you can really utilize that for, at least not right now.
Whoa, bald.
Yeah, I was looking for another word. I knew you were going to comment on it, too. I couldn't find another word. I had to go with it. Sorry, Faber. Sorry.
You're allowed. You're allowed. I'll allow it this time, Toby. No problem. I see how it is. I'll just have to find something to get you for later. All right. So TSM joining the party over by FaZe. So more EU teams kind of settling up next to each other. Ooh, Purdy Curdy. Getting more knocks. Purdy's been playing out of his mind these last couple of rounds. Really, he looks so good. When the pressure is on, he's been playing fantastic throughout this tournament. Just been an absolute pleasure to watch him lead this STK squad to many great performances throughout this tournament.
TSM, they are pushing up close, and well, we talked about fights and how, first of all, you don't want to have to take them early on, but if you have to, get them over and done with as fast as humanly possible, because you never know who's over the next hill already. So third party bot spots one. June, down to low HP, will be taken down with a little help from SDK behind as well. Divine will be eliminated. First team to, for sure, not make it through to the weekly finals of this match as they fall in 16th.
Yeah, the struggles continue for the team from Vietnam. They just haven't been able to get through very well. And there goes Murado back down the hill. Whoops-a-daisies. Forgot to set the parking brake. So down it goes. Bye. And that one's going to YOLO itself out of this round. Furia has got to be pretty well pinned outside of that circle. But there are 3 more members up on top of the hill. Godby should have enough time to heal. It is only phase 3. Phase 3 is pretty manageable when you're inside of it. It's after this that it really gets pretty difficult to sustain any kind of time out in the blue.
By the way, one of the unsung storylines of this game that maybe people watching the map stream has realized is that Long from DXG, he was 5 kilometers away from his teammates earlier. When they were all the way down south, he was still up in Minas because he flipped the vehicle. And he got here, and well, now he's getting... I'm sorry, Long. I tried to give your storyline. Don't die on me now. Don't die on me as I'm trying to build some hype for you. But he made it down to his teammates, and I guess that's what he gets for flipping a vehicle when there's no one else nearby.
Dude, if I was any player in this lobby right now, I'd be messaging you to not talk about me, because all week you have been cursing the heck out of people, man. Oh, I don't know what you've got. I don't know what kind of juju you've managed to summon, but it ain't good. All right, Godby, speaking of bad juju, he's gonna get taken off of a bike out there, and that's gonna be him down and out. Purdy picking up another one, and yeah, it does kind of set her up in that direction you were talking about, but a little bit more west than maybe we were expecting.
We saw the map, and we saw how open that whole center of the new circle is. There is just nothing you can play there. It's so incredibly open, and with the compound still on the south side, it's not gonna... It's just really, really difficult to play around that side of the circle. That's why that's why there wasn't anyone there before, and that's why probably there won't be too many teams going that way now. 4EM, once again, in trouble. Under, solid headshot over the top. Gets himself a knock, gets himself a flush with it. Now DXG, they do get Long up again. Sorry, I'm not going to talk about you. Just rotate.
What have you done? No, they're okay. He's still alive. Oh, Detonation Gaming White, don't do it. Just stay down there. Although eventually they're going to have to move and probably fight DXG, TSG as well underneath this. So a couple of these teams on the Eastern Edge have a bit of a challenge. Although TSG could try to fight Dom 1 Kia for that compound if they want. And DXG driving up to the other side of 4EM in their own little valley next to them. Neil, T, and Fergus out first. Buriram coming in late. They might fight Detonation Gaming White. Oh, good grenade. Wow. That gets some damage. And yep. Buriram wants to fight.
Solid attempt with an 8 there. Fortunately for Detonation Gaming White, as much as Canaxi and Buriram wants to fight, they are ready. At least for now, with the response. Noadra, somewhat isolated on the rock there. They want to be able to get him back up on his feet, but Nate's still coming over. And look at this, while we're looking the other way, DXG in trouble for him, while only being 2 players alive. They are still very angry and very dangerous. And DXG, sorry Long, out they go. 15th place for Division X Gaming.
Yikes. Yeah, that was not ideal there for Division X, 4AM. Still very dangerous, like you mentioned, even with 2 up. Bookie going to be knocked for TSM. SDK looming, as well as Furia pushing in. Miraku going to get taken down by a grenade, but it is going to be Kill Demo who finds the grenade of Miraku as well. So a trade there so far. Nawadra has been rezzed for Buriram. Detonation Gaming White. They play great defense, but they kind of have to reach out a bit to get into Buriram at all if that's what they so choose to do. Melifo's already been taken down. Machao down to 1 hit point after that engagement, and trying to find angles. Gokri has to worry about TSG behind him as well. So Buriram, you need to shoot. You need to pull the trigger when you see somebody. There you go, Gokri. A little bit slow on the reaction. They're going to see more up over the hill. Buriram's going to have to do a fighting maneuver up through the blue. Detonation Gaming White as well, but both teams doing critical damage to each other. Buriram only 1 left alive, and Gokri should be able to get the job done. He is. Detonation Gaming White, but they go down with TSG behind.
So much collateral damage. All these teams taking casualties. TSG the ones to clean it up, and they make some space for themselves. Now on the other side, STK trying to hold off, and they're succeeding, at least for now. Furia down to just one player left alive. Not gonna happen. TSM as well eliminated. Second week, they fall short of the weekly final. Surprise to many, I would assume. Let's see now. Shoot to kill, still up and alive. 8 kills already with 40 players still alive. They need to get the rest up to Penta. Alo is down there, and they do get it back on its feet.
Yeah, and I'm a little worried about TSG over the top for SDK. Kill Demo as well with that AUG with a great spray on a Purdy. Curdy, another one. Gonna get the double. Luke 12 knocked now as well. So up to Alo and Penta underneath. Penta trying to get up in here with Alo, and they are gonna be able to do it. Penta gonna save the day. That's why you bring him in at 4 a.m. here. Gonna go down to E36. Coming alive, getting some kills. All right. I like to see it. SDK now has to deal with the push from TSG. TSG trying to see if they can take advantage of the battered, the bruised, maybe win a fight and then open up a lot of space on this northeastern side if they can win this.
I like TSG push up over the hilltop here, as you said. I mean, get yourself some more space to work around. If you get the kill here, you essentially clear out at least 500 meters that you can play. Oh, that nade! So much damage coming into both of them, but unfortunately, didn't really clutch anything with it. Penta will be able to stay alive. Let's see if the second... Is that a molly-thrown second? Couldn't quite tell. No, Penta gets to stay alive. Luke is knocked first knock, I believe, so there might be a slim chance for him to get the res up. Smokes are there, the cover is there, but they will be running in. You can see the way the TSG are positioning. They will be running into trouble should they try and leave this position, which unfortunately for right now is outside the circle. Mao Yi taken down by Wicked. I mean, Meta while everything else is kind of unfolded, Meta has managed to take a really good center position in the circle.
Yeah, Meta's been pretty quiet, but there you go. It allows them to find that center spot like you talked about, and it's pretty good shooting there. Now Uba looked over towards GEX, but doesn't really seem to be wanting to get involved in it, and I think this makes a lot of sense. There's no reason to shoot at this. Let GEX fight VP here and just see what comes out of it. Now we have CC up over the top, gets some pretty decent damage into Hyruzen, gonna get the knock. Now he's taking some damage of his own. It's actually Meta coming alive from behind. Now FaZe is like, well, if Meta's gonna get involved, we might as well too. VP, Spyro, Batulins still up. Gonna have to go for reses. Shoot to kills. Pentalol hasn't died yet. TSG hasn't been able to suss him out. And they had a knock of their own. They're gonna have to deal with. Under comes up over the top. Has a good shot with that SKS. Looking for one more under. Oh, I bet he wishes he could have that back. Gonna spray up. And he's gonna go for the grenade next. Here come a little bit of reinforcements as well. But Volley Bear says, no, great grenade from under. Finds the finish on a 2, but here comes Gustav. He gets under, down and out. There's Indigo down as well, so Kia Damwon overextends to try to get to TSG.
The battle for hilltop control continues, and right now, FaZe are the ones sitting up on it. Will the circle go their way there, or will they have to crawl back down on the other side? Damwon down to just 2 players. Circle shifts to the east. There is practically no one over here. Everyone tried to wrap west of the mountain. The entire east was the bloodbath area in many, many circles just prior, and now everyone has to make their way here. Look at the team that's coming in from below. Enterforce, they've had the compound for a while. They can play into the bottom of it now with actually quite a decent amount of space to play around.
I mean, I gotta be honest, Damwon Kia, I've got to question that push out. I understand you want a third-party TSG. I understand that normally that'd be a great move, like under the normal kill setting rules, but this is all about the win, and you haven't gotten one yet, and you could have just locked this compound down and maybe given yourself a good chance. I don't know. It's in my mind, it's maybe not the best decision because you expose yourself to the other side of the circle.
You expose yourself, but at the same time, had they had to leave the compound and there being a team sitting above them, that would have made for a really hard exit from that compound. Let's see now. Virtus Pro looking over, trying to see if they can get a kill down below. Gustav, in the meantime, over the top. He finds himself a double kill. So TSG eliminated. Neither of us knew how to predict who was going to win this one. It seems Meta, in the meantime, finds Batulins as Virtus Pro still in trouble trying to make their way in.
Well, Silzen gonna get knocked here by Lou. Lou has another one lined up. Finally, the return fire is good. Sparking doesn't quite see Lou prone well enough. I don't know that he'd have an angle anyway. Hires in Spyro, working down the side of the hill now. They're gonna win for the res. There you go, Wicked and Sparking gonna combine fire, gonna find Lou. There's a rock here for Hyruzen and his teammate. And let's see what they can do now. They've got those minis blasting away. Grenades could be good. They find the mark. Are they going to bounce up over that rock? Yes, but they don't connect really. VP does a really nice job maneuvering out of the way.
Smart disengage from Virtus Pro, and they try to stay alive as best as they can in an area of the map where there really isn't a whole lot for them to do. Spawn King looks for a kill. They know they have FaZe sitting over the top as well, and FaZe arguably, at least for now, in a better position in the circle. And they look at the overview they have from up here. Gustav finds his kill number 5. We've told FaZe before. We know about the FaZe Sunday. Here they are with 9 kills already. Gustav does get knocked though, but the rest should be safe on the hilltop.
Oh boy, yeah, we've seen him do it in the last game of the weekly qualifiers before. FaZe has magic. Everybody knows it. If you've been watching PUBG Esports for forever, it's just been the story of FaZe. There's always magic in the bottle. And let's see if they can uncork it, pull off another big one once again. Gustav has been raised, and Uba continues to watch from down below. E36 works their way up from the south to the north. They continue these strong pushes. Good shooting there. It's going to be Gustav actually taking down Savior, getting in the knock on to Loxlock. So K7 looks to be out of the circle and potentially out of this game here very shortly.
FaZe gets to stay up on the hilltop. I was looking for the circle. If it's going to shift down, they would be in trouble. But their little bit of hill is still into play around. So they will be able to sit up here for at least a little while longer. You can see this hill, should they have to get down from here, it would be a either a billion smokes or somewhat of a full speed sent down the hill. But for now, they get to sit tight. Meta somehow managed to get all 4 back up alive as well. They used the shack as a nursery, got them all healed on up, and they play with 4 now as well. Enterforce 36, same history. Sitting on the south side, they keep all 4 alive. On the east, though, Damwon Kia, and on the west, K7. They have a very, very tough task ahead of them.
Yeah, most definitely now. It is going to be very, very difficult to work the sides of these steep cliffs. You know, do your best mountain goat impersonation here and kind of try to ride the sides and get through. Sungjong still has that Murado available and enough of the hill underneath FaZe to push up ahead. Gustav, though, trying to work through the side. I think he might have saw the back of Sungjong's backpack there. So he's going to let loose with that frag grenade, and it's not going to find the mark. Sungjong had repositioned himself, proning as well to avoid any critical grenade damage. You can minimize that pretty nicely. Is the cover fire going to be good here for Damwon Kia? Sungjong avoiding disaster so far. Smokes out in front of him. Eventually, those will fade away as he is the last one alive for Damwon Kia.
Let's see how much damage can it do to FaZe, and also for Meta, how do they react to this? If they realize that FaZe pushed down the hillside, they might want to try and claim control. Only thing is, as you can see here, Interforce might be able to get an angle on them should they try to go up. Songyang will fall down. FaZe get the annihilation. Damwon out in 4th. We have 3 teams left, and what better than having 3 teams all with 4 players alive for the final chicken of the weekly survival.
We couldn't ask for a better finish, Toby. I can't wait to get to it. 12 kills for FaZe, looking to try to right the ship here in the very last round. But E36 and Meta both want this. E36 coming in late to the situation. Meta has been around for quite some time, almost since the very beginning. They were the very first team to join us, so in the second game. So it's been 15 for them, looking to get into their first weekly finals, trying to be to follow up with Furia, who was able to do it in the first week. Where is our Phase 8 circle going down towards E36? So E36 going to be continued to allow to work bottom to top here.
Japan gets the circle. Fuss and the rest of the FaZe players will have to make their way in. We can see the open terrain in the middle. There's a reason no one's claimed it, because there really is not a whole lot to claim. Right now, Meta cannot get eyes on FaZe or the Interforce 36 players. They need to wrap over towards the hilltop, but Uba is still up there looming large on the very hilltop. So will he be able to get eyes on them, or will he not? No one wants to make the first move. Everybody wants to get a chance to third party, but for now, it's Interforce 36. Stay alive on the hills, but now stay alive below the hill underneath, and somehow force these two teams to fight one another. Headshot comes in. Upa hits it, but he has to leave that hill very soon.
Yeah, this gets a little awkward for Meta with FaZe above them. Not sure what the smoke situation is like, but they're going to have to try to cut off some of that vision of FaZe. The problem is, of course, is that E36 right in the sight lines of their movement path as well, sort of. But at least with E36, maybe you have a more even fight and try to see if you can get FaZe more focused on E36's position. Sato does have the Mark 14, so the level 3 gear going to be available for them as this one rolls on. But we've seen that teams are able to overcome that. We saw Afrika able to overcome that in the last game when FaZe had a lot of level 3 gear themselves, but there's still a Murado here for FaZe as well, so they need to make a desperate move. They have some kind of ability to do it. Maybe a little run and gun could come into play too.
To wait and see. Wicked trying to hold the backside angle while the remaining players push further forward. They're in a 2-1-1 split now, trying to claim some sort of control. Wicked, the worst thing that could happen for him is if he gets isolated, and he does. Pure Boy from below able to find him. There should be no way for him to get back up alive. Fuzz FaZe goes for a peek, takes damage in return. Now you can see the circle. It's forcing FaZe Clan to make a move. FaZe, so many good games today, just short of the win. And for both Meta and Interforce 36, if one of them win, that will be their respective first times in the weekly finals. So much at stake here. Meta, they have claimed the dud.
I mean, what you could say now for Meta, I mean, it is heartbreaking to lose Wicked, and they would never want to, but at least they can talk their native language now. So for them, FaZe up above, still smoke wall out. There's going to be some mollies thrown at the front of those smokes. That's really smart. That's going to block FaZe in even longer, kind of delay them as long as possible. Give Meta the opportunity to wait this out. More smoke's going to be forced out because of that by FaZe as they continue to push down the hill. E36 able to hang on at the edge, at the bottom for now, but the smoke walls are out. This one's going to get wild at the end.
Meta is doing their very best to force FaZe Clan down towards Interforce 36, and here they come. Fuzz finds one, AC finds the other. Interforce 36 in trouble. Fuzz FaZe goes down. Ghost Stuff goes down as well. Meta trying to hold back, trying to wait this one out. 2 down for FaZe Clan, but they're still alive. 14 kills already. 80 down to low HP, needs to get healed up. This is chaos unfolding before your eyes. Satu is on fire. Blue is closing in. There's no way you're getting back alive. That molly is on point. That molly is perfect. Upa, did he get out of it? Did he get to stay alive? I'm not sure. Ghost Stuff is down into 2v3. Uber down to barely any HP. 80, same situation. Players below him. No. Interforce falls short. 80 falls as well. Uber, no HP. Playing behind a rock. Meta Gaming, they have this position. 3v1. Can you do it, Uber? Can you do it? No! Once again, FaZe fall in second. And Meta, welcome to the weekly finals.
A huge win there by Meta at the end, and Ragnar gonna give us a celebration chicken dance. You love to see it. The guy is just having a ball as always, and now he has even more reason to celebrate here. It's Sparking giving him some high fives. Look at this. They are beyond excited. Wicked gonna give him a hug. The boys from Latin America getting it done. The team that we have been seeing come so close. Finally, they gave themselves the best chance possible. They were the first team in from the reseeding rounds, and in the last game, they're the last ones to qualify for the weekly finals.